In this video, I'm going to tell you about the Ascendant, or the rising sign in astrology. So these are two different ways of thinking about this. So what is the Ascendant? So however way that you want to think of it, the rising sign indicates what sign was rising on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. And so, it indicates what was sort of at the 9 o'clock position of your natal chart. So the ascendant is one of the big three. So you have the sun and then the moon and the ascendant. That's sort of the astrology trinity. And the ascendant is the third piece of the puzzle. So you put those three different, the two luminaries, the sun and moon, and then the ascendant together. The sun, of course, representing your ego, individuality, your basic personality, how you express yourself to the world, your inner sense of power and confidence and courage in yourself. And then the moon is your needs, your intuition, your instincts, your emotional needs and wants, how you feel, how you nurture, all those kinds of things. So, the ascendant is one of the four angles in the natal chart. So you have the ascendant, the AC, which is an abbreviation for ascendant, and then the descendant is exactly opposite whatever your ascendant is. So if your ascendant is in Scorpio, then your descendant is in Taurus. It's exactly opposite. And then you also have the midheaven, which is your career sector. It indicates your highest calling in the world, your sort of purpose of what you came here to achieve in the world. The midheaven is the highest potential that you can achieve, and then exactly opposite that is the IC. So the midheaven is at the top of your natal chart. So in order to find and calculate the ascendant, you can go to astro.com. You can also go to Cafe Astrology. Those are two sites for putting in your natal chart. I may put the links for those calculators below. You put in your birth information and you need to know your time. You need to know the time and place to find the ascendant. Otherwise, if you don't know the time and you do a rough estimate of when you were born, and it's not the exact time that you were born, the ascendant could be off, and you could have an accurate chart. So it's really, really critical that you get the time exactly, because if the time is wrong, it could mean the difference of, huge parts of your chart, including the ascendant and the messages and lessons and themes that you sort of came here to learn about and grow into, and your personality. Could it be different if the time is off? Maybe. Who knows? But it's really critical that the time is exact, because the ascendant changes every couple of hours in terms of the sign change, and the ascendant is not used for talking about forecasts or transits for the collective, for everyone. It is only used for individual natal charts, and not really anything else. It isn't used for predicting world events, or what astrologers use when they make forecast videos on YouTube. They don't talk about the ascendant's going to be in this sign for this couple of hours. And it's going to make these aspects, because the ascendant changes so often, and so it just doesn't matter for forecasts for new moon, full moon, etc. But it is only used in an individual chart when it comes to understanding yourself and your personality and your makeup, who you are, what you came here to be and do in this lifetime. So the ascendant indicates your physical body. It sort of shows your body type. So in Aries, ascendant might be very muscular, very strong, very sturdy, very steadfast in terms of their appearance. Someone who appears like a force to be reckoned with, and someone who has an assertive look. For example, so it indicates your physical body, your appearance, how you appear to the world, what people see, what people perceive from you when they first meet you, their first impressions. So if someone is getting to know you, the ascendant is the first thing that they see, and then they see your sun sign. Then they see your moon, then your Mercury, then your Venus, and it just keeps going on down the list. The deeper you get to know them and they get to know you, and the more they get to know you. But the ascendant is, the first thing is, the immediate impression. Like, this person strikes me as being this person comes across as this, immediately, right from the get-go. The ascendant is always, first, right there. This is what I see. This is what I think. This is how I feel about you. This is how I understand you from the perspective of a first impression when I haven't got to, really sit down and get to know you. So, again, as I said, the 9 o'clock position of your chart wheel. If you were to look at the chart wheel, just like a clock, it looks like a clock. And then you find all the times listed around the exterior of the wheel. You find where 9 o'clock is on that chart wheel, and that will show you the ascendant, and it's marked by a line in the chart. And you can find the glyph of the sign that it is in, and that will show you the ascendant and what your ascendant is. The ascendant is also how you make sense of and perceive the world around you. How do you view the world around you? How do you interpret the world around you? And how do you go about what you want to in your life? How do you approach, your goals, your ambitions, what you want to initiate? How do you really approach your life and what you need and want to, do in life? What do you wake up every morning and, this is, how I should go about my life. All this kind of things. So how you make sense of and perceive the world around you deals with your overall health and well-being as well. And so it's the mask that you wear that people see when they first meet you that may hide who you truly are as an authentic spiritual being from a soul level underneath. I mean, maybe people, you wear your heart on your sleeve, but you can't exactly see somebody's heart when you look at them for the first time. You're sort of seeing a mask. You're seeing something that people are presenting of how you want to present yourself to others, how you want to come across to others. It also corresponds to the sun sign, which is your ego, how you want to present yourself to the world. The mask that you not only wear, but want to wear, or just naturally wear also. So, that is also, another way of interpreting it. That shows sort of, an exterior self that you're presenting yourself to the world, and they're thinking and believing and feeling that you are a certain way. But then underneath, maybe you're something else. And when somebody gets to know you at a deeper level, they can see all these complexities, all these, multiplicities, all these different sides and aspects and parts and, quirks and aspects of your personality and all those kind of things like that. So how you go about what you want in the world, how you think others perceive you, your demeanor, and your attitude for life, your approach to life. So the other thing about the Ascendant is that it dictates your first house. So wherever the Ascendant is, that is always your first house or first house cusp. So I would be a Sagittarius rising, so Sagittarius would be my first house. And then you keep going all the way back to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, if a planet enters Sagittarius, that would fall in my first house. Any full moon in Sagittarius or new moon in Sagittarius would fall in my first house. If the sun enters Sagittarius, it would enter my first house. So Sagittarius is the first house, Capricorn is the second house, Aquarius the third house, and it keeps on going. There's 12 signs in the zodiac, and each of the 12 signs correspond to the 12 houses. 12 houses, 12 signs. If you're a Taurus rising, Taurus would be your first house, Gemini your second house, Cancer your third house. So it sets up your whole, the houses, the whole house wheel of your chart 1 through 12. Now, the first house, just the overall description of what the first house is, it's basically you. Let's start this. It is who you are. It is your individuality. It's also your personality, your appearance, and your physical body. It deals with how you go after your goals, how you go after what you want to achieve, and what you need and want, and how you initiate, how you start things in your life. It's very associated with Aries because with the first house there is this sense of I know who I am, and I'm going to assert myself, and I'm going to be strong and confident and empowered and courageous, and I know thyself, as the saying goes, and I'm going to get after it. It's very, very simple energy with the first house. It is identifying, really who you are. It also deals with first impressions, again, corresponding to the Ascendant, what people see when they first, meet you at first. So your image and appearance and your physical body also. And so there's also something called the Ascendant ruler or the chart ruler. So what that basically is I'm a Sagittarius rising. So Jupiter in astrology rules Sagittarius. And so Jupiter would be my chart ruler. So the cycles of Jupiter would really pertain to me, and I would be more affected and impacted by the movements, the transits, the aspects of Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance and growth and higher learning and philosophy. So all those kind of things play a role with that. So if you're a Libra ascendant, then your chart ruler would be Venus. So the sign that your chart ruler is in and the house placement, the area of life, is going to be very, very important. And also the house placement of your ascendant as well. And I was reading something about the houses, planets, and signs as a metaphor. So the houses are the backdrops, they're the settings. The planets are the actors, and then the signs are the roles that they are playing. What they're acting, what kind of scene or play that they're acting out in their own different ways, the characters that they're acting out in your life. So understanding the sign. So if you're, again, Libra ascendant, you want to look to the sign that your Venus is in and the house placement of your Venus, and also the aspects made to that Venus. If there's a lot of depending upon if there's a lot of trines and sextiles and conjunctions, the easier aspects. But if there's a lot of oppositions or squares, then it may be more difficult or challenging, or you as a soul really signed up to work harder and to grow and evolve in a much more powerful way, with a lot of challenges to face, but ultimately a lot of wisdom to learn in your life from all those hard aspects. So it really is all relative to the aspects that you have to your to your chart ruler. And the other way of thinking about your ascendant is that it's also your soul, what you're ascending towards, what you're rising towards. Who are you meant to be in this lifetime? What are you rising towards? What are you stretching towards? What are you developing to as a soul? And ultimately, you are growing and evolving and learning and reaching for the stars. And you want to live a life that is in the best interest of your soul and what your soul wants, letting your soul steer the ship as opposed to your ego. So, so the sun is your ego, and the ascendant is your soul. So that spiritual, innate part of you. So, the ascendant also shows what your soul wants to do in this lifetime. How does your soul want to grow? Who does your soul want to become into? What does your soul want to experience and learn and uncover and discover and come to appreciate and enjoy this lifetime? What will be most fulfilling to your soul? And that is also indicated by the North Node as well in astrology. But so the ascendant, the relationship with, the aspects made to it is also, important to consider. The same with the chart ruler. Say if your sun is in a fire sign and your ascendant is in a fire sign, they're on the same team, and that it's, easier to work with those energies. But if your sun is in, water and your ascendant is in fire, that might be more challenging, and there might be more need for balancing and more, I should accommodate this part of me over here and accommodate that part of me over there. And one part of you wants emotional security, nurturing, to feel into other people, to merge, vulnerability, all those kind of things, sensitivity, emotional intelligence. And the other part of you wants passion, joy, adventure, wants to be big and bold in your life. So it's all relative to um, the sign of your ascendant and the planets and the signs that they are in your natal chart, and especially the sun and moon in the signs that they are in relation to your ascendant. So those are a couple little mini thoughts that I have about that. I hope that you found this video very helpful and informative. I'll see you in another one. Bye, everyone.